Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome to another episode of The Lonely Wrist. Today we have a very special guest, my boy David.
What's going on, bro? How are you?
Good. Please introduce yourself. Tell everybody. You need no introduction here, but
What's going on, everybody? My name is David. I'm a vintage watch dealer out in the New York City Diamond District, and I've been doing this for about a year and a half now, and it's going pretty well. I love it. Met a lot of cool people, and yeah.
Short, sweet, simple. Love it.
I can go longer if you want.
No. Like I was telling Justin, like when I first met you and you came in, you just had like a backpack like full of like crazy shit. Like he's like, I don't want to take anything out right now, but trust me. And I was like, oh, I believe you, bro.
Yeah.
Like
that's I bought a bunch of cool stuff that time when I saw you. It was a good show.
Yeah. Tell us about some of your pickups if you don't mind.
I actually have my box next to me of some cool personal pieces, but let's just say, here, I'll show you two that I really like. So you guys have seen these a bunch. The Ghost Styles.
Oh yeah, man.
Yeah, these are two I really love. The Ghost Styles.
But on the Jubilee, you got to do it.
100%.
I'm trying to get Justin to warm up to the Rolex.
Well, what are you into? Yeah.
Bro, I'm into everything, to be honest. I mean, I like a lot of different stuff, but
yeah,
I just I've told Blake this many times. I'm one of the people that like you have to sell me through and through on something for me to buy it. I can't just like feed into the hype and be like, oh, I'm gonna get that because it's like a good watch. I'm like, no, I have to absolutely love it. So just haven't pulled the trigger.
I see what you're saying. It makes sense. I fall into that. I'm not gonna lie.
Me too. Like before we were waiting for you to come on, we're like, okay, let's just like record a low key, like a little like mini video. And it was like choose 3 watches that you want to buy. And mine were like so cliche, like, and his were like super like niche brands, like micro brands.
Particular.
Yeah, mine are except out there for sure. Some crazy.
Yeah, we're gonna have to get you to do your dream picks.
Sure.
At some point.
Yeah, it's been.
Let's do a wrist check.
Wrist check.
We have to do wrist checks.
First time wearing this. Look at this. Here, let me show it to you. So I did this like a month ago when I got bored at work.
Oh, that's wild.
I'm sure you guys have seen. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I'm sure you guys have seen this trend with the Cartiers before, and I was like, you know, why not? Let me put this dial in a watch. So I literally sat there at work. I drew this, and then I was like, that's pretty cool. So yeah, it's my first time wearing it. I don't really get to wear stuff like this.
Why 95? Is that the year of the watch?
It's fuck 925. That's
yeah.
That's the
got
thing.
You.
Yeah. So
you're thinking like I-95 highway.
it's kind of weird, but like when you get it, you're like, oh wow, it's cool. It's interesting.
That literally went like straight over my head.
Yeah, I didn't make the dash wide enough. It just looks like a circle.
And I guess
it again.
Yeah. So it's on a 16254 case, and it's really nice and sharp, really nice condition. And then I just Sharpied that in myself.
Oh, I was about to say, did you get somebody to paint it on, or just
straight Sharpie? Took me like 5-10 minutes. Professional.
That's fine. Yeah. Hey, I mean, you can really do what the fuck you want with your watches.
Exactly.
Like I hate when people tell you otherwise. So
definitely agree.
Justin, you guys are the vintage guys. I'm just gonna go with my grandpa's watch after this. So
I've got so this is my papa's, my grandfather's. I just inherited this not long ago. Pretty simple but humble watch. It's a Belova.
Nice.
It's an automatic. It's a S7056T, automatic in-house. It's got the date and then the
day, right? I think so.
Yeah.
That's cool. Is that solid or plated?
So it's plated, unfortunately, but
pretty cool.
It's pretty cool. It's got the stretch band on it and everything to match. So it's super comfy, but I love it, man.
Do those things get caught in your hairs? You know what I'm talking about with the stretch?
Not at all.
Yeah, I had one of those one time with a similar model, and every time I wear it, it catches my hairs.
Yeah, this one surprisingly didn't. I don't usually wear a whole lot of metal bracelets, but yeah, this one's been comfy ever since I got it. So
That's
Yeah,
nice.
love it, man. How about yourself, Blake? What you got, man?
Yeah, I was about to ask. What do you got in the collection right now?
My grandpa gave me this.
What am I looking at?
No, I'm just kidding. This is a Zenith Defy. It's a white ceramic.
Doesn't look vintage enough for me, but it's pretty cool.
No, that's what I was fucking around like earlier, and we did a wrist check on our other video, and I was joking. That's the reason why I said that, because I was like, yo, what if somebody's grandpa just gave him like the most ultra modern fucking like skeleton watch?
Crazy.
This would be so funny, you know, like here on their deathbed. Yeah, like on their deathbed, like here's like an AP open work tourbillon or something. You know what I mean?
Definitely.
Like a 90-year-old.
Insane one.
Yeah. Yeah. So we've got a few questions. I kind of want to jump right into it. David, I know your time's super valuable, so give us a shout and tell us how you started your journey as a dealer.
All right, so it is a little bit of a long story. It stems back from like freshman year of high school. So this is before I got into watches. I was always into like reselling stuff in general, like always trying to have cool stuff and like making money. So I was always into like shoes and clothes. So I would just start selling shoes and clothes from freshman all the way to first year of college. And then I was like, okay, this is cool. Make small margins. You're learning all this, that. But I didn't really see much future. And I always saw in my brother's room, like this cool box, just like a cool box of stuff. And I'm like, what is this? And he never let me wear his Rolexes. I'm like, bro, just let me wear them. He's like, no. So I was like 16 at the time. And I was like, just looking at it, peeking through, cool stuff everywhere. And I slowly started getting myself into it. I went to a Miami show in, I think I was about 16 years old. I picked up my first Speedmaster Reduced, the 3510.50, that one. And I wore that thing for like a year straight. And then my brother sold it. And then I just started loving it. And I got my first Cartier tanks and then Santos's. And then I was like, okay, Danny, let's open up a shop. We opened up a physical shop. And then that's what really got me into it. And then I just started collecting Rolexes and all that. So it really helped me get into it more, at least into the industry, by opening the store with my brother.
I had one of those reduced. That was my first watch as well, ironically. And I remember buying it like pre-COVID, and I think I paid like $1,000, like just around $1,000 for it.
That's very cheap.
I know, and I imported it from Japan and all that shit, you know. And I remember my ex, you know, just got so pissed when she saw that thing come in, and we had a huge argument about it. And then I held on to it for about a year, and then I sold it, and I sold it for like double, like almost double what I paid for it.
That's when you love your ex. You tell her, see, investments.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. And she knows what happened. But then once I got that money from it, I bought the Speedy Professional. So
yeah.
So it cost me more money
Definitely
in the end, but I got a Speedmaster on discount plus $1,000 cheaper.
Exactly.
I made $1,000.
100%. That's the best.
And did you have it on the bracelet?
On bracelet. So that one, I had a tiny wrist. I had maybe like not even a 6-inch at the time. So it was like so small. And the 39mm case was like eating my wrist, but I love that watch. I regret selling that watch.
That bracelet like gives me nightmares.
Why?
Because it just ripped. Dude, I've got some like decent arm hair, but it would just rip my arm hair like to shreds, dude.
Damn,
I couldn't even wear it.
I didn't even have arm hair back then, so.
So then you're lucky.
Yeah, definitely.
That's the reason why you could wear it. That bracelet, dude, scarred me for life.
Physically.
What are you wearing now?
What's that?
So what are you wearing now? Like these days?
Oh, I wear bracelets now, but you know, you have to find ones that are like a baby like caressing you, or you know what I mean? Like being like a baby being rocked to sleep or something. Like I need those bracelets.
Old Jubilee bracelets right there.
I have the new Jubilee bracelets, which I actually like.
Yeah.
And even the Oyster bracelet, like awesome. I don't know, maybe I'm just not like a baby anymore. Like maybe I can just handle it.
Yeah. Occasionally happens, just like whatever.
Yeah. Yeah, so tell us a memorable story from your early days as a watch trader. I think this is going to be a juicy one.
A memorable story. There's a bunch of things that come up in mind. For when I first started learning into it, I'll tell you something that was actually really inspirational to me. As a kid,
go ahead.
I saw these day dates, and my brother had a bunch of date dress, so I was really used to seeing them, and I was always into day dates, and I was like, "Yo, these are so cool!" Like I would search them up online, and I told myself like one day I'm gonna buy a day date, and I saw this one Hebrew one. It was so sick online. I was like, "That's insane!" And then fast forward like 4 years and I'm looking at this Hebrew one in my box. I'm like, wow, that's crazy because it was so hard to obtain something like this. Like you think about it and you're just like, it doesn't make sense how you can get something like that. It's like a dream come true. It was really special to me. And well, it's not really a story, but another story.
That was pretty cool. So now you got to live up to that one. Because I mean, do you speak Hebrew? Is that
I do, yeah. So that's the reason why I wanted it the most. Like it's super rare, and I always love that watch. Like the date is just the coolest thing. So I said I want the Hebrew and I want a date it, and it just made sense. And I finally got it. I was like, wow. And that was this year, so it's a pretty big accomplishment for me. I'm very happy I was able to get that.
It was it white gold or
It's
yellow?
Reference 1803. I can pull up a picture if you want. It's pretty cool. Unfortunately, I don't have it here though.
Yeah, just hold your phone up. Yeah, if you can.
That's how much I love it.
Woo!
That's beautiful.
Damn.
I love this thing.
If I had that watch, like my date window would be all, or my week would be like all jacked up. Like I wouldn't even know how to set it properly.
Yeah, I never said it. I just look at it. It's cool.
I watched this one video on YouTube and it was like the watches of Formula One drivers, and they have like these crazy RMs and all this shit, and how like they don't even set them. Like they don't even set the time on them. Like literally they just slap them on for press and then take them off.
They probably get paid for that. Like RM is probably
for sure
money to wear their watch. They don't set it. They just look at it like jewelry. It's like the same people that wear the bust down, like the iced out watches. It's just jewelry to them.
That's so disheartening, especially considering how expensive those watches are.
Yeah.
And there was one story where oh yeah, for sure. And I know there was one story where I think it was, I don't know if it was Charles Leclerc or Orlando Norris, like who had like one stolen from him, and then it was like a super rare.
It was Charles, yeah.
And then the next day, like had the exact same watch on. It's like,
yeah,
it's like RM was like, nope, you have to have one.
So. 100%. They take care of them. They're like the biggest brand ambassadors, especially F1, huge sport.
For sure. Yeah, you're gonna have to come down to Vegas for the race, bro.
When is that race? Soon, right?
I think it's November. Yeah.
November? Maybe. I always wanted to go. I've never been to an F1 race, and I love F1.
Yeah. Yeah, this will be the first ever, so it's probably gonna be groundbreaking.
Definitely. Those tickets are gonna be so expensive, I can tell.
Yeah, they're like $1,500 for like 3 days. It's kind of insane. Yeah. Yeah, so tell us a little bit about how like being in the Diamond District, because the reason why I wanted you on is because I don't know if maybe I'm the only like weird guy out there, like the super nerdy guy that just literally trolls like Instagram and YouTube and watches like all the deals, like the negotiation videos, like
so
what's that?
You're definitely not the only person. Like I get that all the time. People be like, yo, I was watching that video, or I literally watch these videos like 2 hours straight of just like the live negotiations or stuff that's happening. It is very intriguing and like entertaining to watch it. Life is pretty similar to that. Like today was a super hectic day, just running around and filming like for this film that my brother and I are doing, and photography, and then selling watches. It's really like fast paced all day. Like I remember when I saw you at the shop in Vegas, like, you know, just like people come in, you talk to them, you have conversation, you get to know them. Here, it's like everything's flying. Like there's always something that's moving. Like we're doing this deal, and then we're on the phones, and we're closing this deal, and then we're talking to this guy, and then that's happening. So there's always stuff happening, and you have to like write things down in your notes or keep it in mental memory, and then you have to get back to it. It's always flying around. But for the Diamond District stuff, like the content you see online, if you're asking about like how real it is and all these different things, yeah, it's pretty real. Sometimes it's staged just for entertainment purposes, but depending
Of
on who's
course.
doing it and what it's for. Like my brother and I, we did some videos for some time, and we tried making it as authentic as possible. And we definitely want to start getting back into it. It's just some people will do just reviews, and it makes sense. It's, you know, brand recognition. You need to, but it just depends what you're going for. Because for us, we're going more for an experience of vintage watches, like collecting and cool stuff and having people get affordable stuff. But those are just more like just buy everything, you know, so we don't care.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember, I think what I get hung up on is like whenever I hear them start talking about the money side, I'm like, damn, dude, if I could buy a watch that cheap, like
Yeah.
I'd be in good shape, you know? Um, but don't you also get concerned kind of seeing that, because would you ever be concerned about somebody seeing you more as a personality than like a watch dealer? Like, has that ever kind of crossed your mind?
So a big thing for me actually is like I was thinking about it. Do I want to be a personality online? Like it's interesting, it's fun. It just like sometimes you just want to be alone. Like I remember I was at dinner one time in Brooklyn at like 12 or 1 in the morning, and this is like I wasn't even doing anything. And some guys like, "Yo, you're the guy," and some girls like, "You're the guy." And then they start talking to me. I was like, "Wow!" Like I don't even do anything, and people recognize me somehow. And I thought to myself, like, do I want to be that? Like you guys know Moses the jeweler?
I do.
He's a
Yeah.
great guy, and he's always like super energetic. Like he has to be for social media, and it's great. It's just being a social personality is very tough. I feel like interesting.
Yeah. I think I told you when I was at the antique show, like I saw like Watch Jules
Yeah,
like
I remember.
doing her thing, and I said to her like she turned. I was, first of all, I was like reaching over the counter like trying to see some watches because I was like on the hunt to buy something. And then like I literally was like reaching across like her, like super creepy. And then like I turned around and she's like right in my face. I'm like, oh shit, like I see you all over YouTube. Like I can't get
Yeah,
your face off my feet. Um
yeah,
and she's like, oh, you like that? And I was like, I guess, I don't know. but but no, I was like, and then that kind of sparked my idea, you know, to like have you on in a way, you know, because you know, we're a newer brand, like our media website. I actually left the dealer, so
really.
kind of doing my own thing now.
Yes.
And yeah, it was just it just wasn't right for me, you know. That coupled with a few health complications, and I just knew immediately like I just had to leave. But I was, and the other side of watches is I think where the industry can actually grow from, you know, because like you said, you know, our side is very sterile, and it's very like it's almost like, you know, you're even the fake videos, like
Yeah.
the fakes, like negotiation videos, that feels like every day at AD. You
Mm,
know, we have the same intros, we have the same outros, like we have the same kind of sales process. Um, and it becomes very like sterile. And to get good at an AD, like you
yeah.
have to have that process, right? Like you have
100%.
to take them through a journey of watches, because people come in and they either don't know what they want, or they know exactly what they want and just go right for it, which
That's
is,
nuts.
you know,
I love that.
this just doesn't happen.
Yeah, that's just very different. Like how you just said, either they know or they don't. Like for us, since we have a bunch of inventory, it's so hard for us to just show everyone everything, because in the Diamond District, everyone's just flying. You know, like there's so much things to do. So we have a website and we say just go through it, see if you like anything. If you like anything specific, go through it. We'll be glad to help you. But to show you every watch, like at the AD, that's a super different experience. But it is like you pay what you get for.
Yeah. And also, like, how has being in the Diamond District like shaped your brand as a dealer? You know, because if you were here in Vegas, like, um, I mean, it's not the same. Even some of the pawn shops in Vegas, like there is one benefit to being in Vegas, and people lose their ass off at the casino and they pawn their watch for super cheap, and then I go buy it. Um,
And then you sell
but
it to me.
we could work on something.
For sure.
I picked up with Justin actually last week. I picked up a Navitimer,
Really?
Navitimer 1
How much they
38
sell?
millimeter, 2,500,
How much do they go for?
like 5,800.
Nice.
It was stickered up
That's
too.
great.
It was just watch only. And yeah, I'll show you later. I'll send you pictures.
Yeah, definitely.
But yeah, that was like a no brainer, you know. And again, I don't sell watches anymore. But it was a no brainer, you know. So how is being in that huge? I mean, that's the central. That's where everything is.
It really
for
is
the watch industry.
Yeah,
I would say the Diamond District is like, I don't know if I could say it's the center of the world because it isn't. Like Hong Kong or Japan, Singapore, all these other areas are a lot stronger. But the Diamond District itself is so strong. Like everything is there. Like anything you need from watch, jewelry, stones, anything possible is there. And just so much money on the street and so much knowledge and connections and all that. So just being there, it's like you learn so much every day. You meet people every day, like new people, or just so many beneficial things to your business. Like I thought about, let's say if I was in a different space, like what would happen to my business? Like could I strive? Could I flourish to a whole new level? Probably, but it'd just be a different type of life because being there, you're exposed to different things. So I would say myself being in vintage, there's not a lot of people that do vintage on 47. And it's not about competition. It's just people that do vintage. It's like they have like put together pieces or aftermarket and this and that. And like we specialize only in that. So it's like very different. So if we went down the block somewhere, it wouldn't really make a difference, I feel like. But the Diamond District itself is a really good place to be, especially if you're in the watch industry, because it just helps you meet new people. Like I have a bunch of friends, they come in and they're like, wow, this is insane. Like this kid just started 2 months ago and he's already in. And this kid just came in 3 months ago and he's already in and he's learning and he's this, he's that. And he's coming to all these events and stuff. It's a big deal. But it's not easy to be out there. It really isn't.
Yeah, I bet. I mean, what do you think are some misconceptions? Because everybody, at least from my perspective, you know, we look at that as kind of the central nervous system of the watch industry, at least the gray market.
Mm-hmm.
In the States. Like, so would you say there's any misconceptions about
definitely. So people think it's super easy. Like imagine you and Justin just like say, okay, we're gonna buy a watch, we're gonna come to 47 and we're gonna sell it within an hour. And you're gonna be like, let's try to make $1,000. And there's so many people that do this type of stuff. They just want to see, I'm gonna buy a watch and sell a watch. And then they realize they don't know too much about what they're doing, that they overpaid, and then they're trying to sell to like the cheapest payers in the world. Like people in 47 will try to pay as cheap as possible because first, like let's say for vintage, they don't really know what it is. So they'll pay as cheap as possible so they know they're safe. For us, we'll pay as fair as possible because we know what we have and we know what you have. So people in 47 will be very tough. It's like you'll come there, you try to sell a watch and you'll be like, I just lost $2,000. And like that's what happens sometimes. So it really isn't easy, like the way you see online, like selling watch, boom, selling watch, boom. You really have to build it up and have like people that trust you and take care of people and stuff. And then over time, it really gets a lot more exponential.
So me and Justin are both from Raleigh. Do you know Mr. Beast? I'm probably sure.
Yeah.
So Mr. Beast is from North Carolina.
Okay.
And he went into one of our jewelry stores and bought a Rolex and he was like, let me try this. And
Really?
Justin, did you see that?
No, I didn't.
I think I saw this video. My cousin might have showed me this a long time ago.
He went into the jewelry store. I can't think of the name right now in Cameron Village. I think is it Bailey's in Cameron Village, Justin?
It probably is a Bailey's. I believe it is. Yeah. Did he pay with like pennies or something?
No, I think I don't remember. I'll have to look. I mean, it was something very, Mr. Beastie. But anyways, David, like this is like a place that literally takes like the scraps of Rolexes, like just that they can find on. It's like they buy them on eBay or some shit, and then they'll literally mark them up like thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars. Like
the retail store.
Like I went in. Yeah, it's like a brick and mortar, and it's in like one of the highest retail environments, like in terms of like cost per square foot, like in North Carolina. And he bought a watch from there, I believe it's Bailey's, and then he went and tried to sell it, and he lost like $2,000. Like, oh, he's like, yeah, this is how you make money, as a watch dealer.
Yeah, it's not that easy, but there are so many people that make a lot of money, and it's just like seeing the people that make money. Like I have a friend, I won't say who he is exactly, but he tells me like, I just made $85,000 on a single watch. I just made
Damn.
150 on a single watch. And I have two friends like this, one with modern and one vintage. And I'm just like, that is crazy to me. Like, imagine making $80,000 on a piece, like a single watch, and you do it within like a day or two or a week. Like, it doesn't make sense. It's like unfathomable, but it's so possible. You just have to like really learn and read and practice and do your due diligence and create your own niche. So that's why I love it. It's really like, it's fun.
Do those types of customers like literally like land on your doorstep, like, or
Definitely not. So I don't have these types of customers that'll drop $250,000 on a watch because we don't really do those. But there are definitely customers like that. Like, let's say they know what they want, or they're just looking for something cool and they have a lot of money, or crypto guys, or however you want to put it. There's always people out there. Like, I was watching a TPT video. You guys know Timepiece trading in Miami, and like they're showing these guys just dropping over $100,000 on a watch that are just like, yeah, it's cool, I'll take it. And I'm like, wow, like those are different types of clientele, not the same as like you would expect. But it's not always like, I'm sure in the AD it doesn't happen as much like that. Also, like you're literally sitting there, an hour and a half conversation, and nothing happens. So you win, you lose.
I think my biggest deal was a gold. It was a gold Navitimer, just a solid gold, and it took me like, I don't know if it was just me or just the guy, but he was really indecisive, and and literally took like 3 days to close the deal. Like, he came in, was with me for like 2 hours, left. We were texting, came back, showed his buddy, left, and then I literally was like trying to get my manager like involved to like, you know, bring some big guns.
Yeah.
This was like a $50,000 watch.
Yeah, it's not an easy watch to sell, by the way. For everyone listening, it's not an easy watch.
Like an all solid gold Navitimer, like that is such a unique customer.
Yeah.
And yeah, and then I literally was like kind of pissed because I was like, yo, I lost this deal. You know, everybody comes in at AD looking for the best price, right? So so we did our best and final, and he left, and then I was just like kicking myself, and then he came back. And then he came back and he was just like, you know, trying it on and like showing his buddy. And then his buddy was like, I remember this very vaguely, like very vaguely. He was like, yo, don't be a little bitch. Just buy it. And I was like,
you're like, cha-ching.
Yeah.
I was like, all right, I guess that's one way to do it.
Your boy, you know, like, you one of those.
And yeah, so yeah, and then I sold the watch. It was that simple.
That's a good deal. I would give him a commission for that, honestly.
Yeah.
Pour him a drink.
Yeah, it was a nice one. And so the way, again, you know, that at an AD works is totally different, but yeah, also brands will do like incentives. So like if you sell a certain watch for a certain value, then they'll give you like a gift card for that value or whatever.
As an AD, you're saying, like if you sold, let's say, an Omega, they give you an Omega like card for you're saying, right?
Omega doesn't give a shit. Omega's like, congratulations, you sold a watch that sells itself.
So what's the incentive for you to sell a watch? Like, do you get any commission on top of it? How does it work?
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, and it just depends on the AD that you work for, but you have a base salary and then you get a percentage of the sale. So, cool. and it's usually sliding. So like it can be anywhere from 2.5% to 5%, just depending on, you know, on your action for the month. It's usually like sliding. So
is it always going to be of the sale or of profits to them? How does it work?
It's of the total. It was of the total sale.
Yeah. So I was just curious about that.
Yeah. And then of course the AD has their margins on top of it. And then depending on the brand is usually, so like we would kind of work our way around brands because like I knew, or my colleagues would know, like, hey, like Zenith takes care of us, or Breitling takes care of us, or Tudor takes care of us.
Yeah.
So I can credit a lot of people having tutors to hungry guys like me that get a nice commission and get a nice bonus from it.
And tutors are great too. Those are really nice watches.
They're great. They're great. A lot of people get them for daily drivers, but I don't know. I'm indifferent because I don't want a daily driver that has an in-house caliber. Like I want to take my watch to like, your watchmaker, and have them like clean it up and get it sorted,
Yeah.
So, if there's some parts that are broken, I mean, then what, right? The watch is stuck, right, in limbo. So, but yeah. So that's kind of my spiel. But I am super curious about like how you determine the value of vintage watch. I mean, what do you like? Look at comps or something like Chrono 24? Do you look at like eBay like sold listings? Like
that's a good question. So there's a couple different steps. So first, let's say it is, for example, I'll just pull this out. Let's say it's a Datejust that looks like this. This is a 16234 blue Vignette stainless steel. So nice watch. Comes with papers. So I'll look at things like how rare is it? Is it in demand? How's the condition? Is it all original? Does it have papers? All these little details, and it all adds up. Like to me, this is like the ultimate. It's rare, condition's nice, has papers. It's like sought after. People want it. Like there's certain watches that are rare, but no one wants it. Like there's no demand. So what's the point of having it? You know what I mean? It's like there's a bunch of different steps that go into it, and then I'll search online. Let's say this is trading online around 8,000, give or take, and then I'll say, okay, so trading around 8. If I'm going to sell it around 8 or a little less to give someone a good deal, I would have to purchase it properly. I can't just throw out an offer and be like 5 or like 4 or 9. I have to be smart with it because people also get really offended if you give them an offer like that's super low. But we try to pretty much give everyone a fair offer. But those are pretty much the steps. Like if you're bringing in a watch, I'm going to check it out, see if it's a nice condition. That's the biggest thing for me, especially if I'm buying for myself. And that's what I recommend for everyone. Always buy good condition. At least try, because vintage really does make a difference when it comes to condition.
What about like authenticity? So like vintage watches they're super hard, super nuanced because those hands may have been replaced. Like I have some vintage watches, so I the crown. I mean,
it's very
like
tough.
how do you get into that?
So also for authenticity, there's a couple different steps. So we like to check everything just as by like eye and hand, just like seeing everything in the parts, because you get used to seeing certain things. Like if you show me like a crazy Submariner, like I'm not really as well versed in the subs, like this old sport models. So if you show me one of those, I'll be like, I'm not too sure if it's a service insert or not. Let the professionals deal with it, and I'll just read more into it. Like I've been doing a lot of more research on it. But let's say crowns and hands and dials and all that, you could either show it to a watchmaker, actually like teach yourself this type of stuff and read and ask questions on Google and stuff. Like I just bought a bunch of watch books and I just sit there every weekend and just read them. They're fun. And there's always ways of like learning, but like as a first time buyer, like you really have no idea. Like you can't, just because it has a Rolex crown does not mean it's a Rolex crown. Just because it has luminous hands does not mean it's an original luminous hand. Like there's ways of telling. Personally, I can't really explain how you tell. It's more just like with time. Like once you keep seeing them, you understand how it really is supposed to be. And the biggest thing I could tell you right now is sport models are like the hardest ones to do, at least vintage sport models. Like you have to really know your stuff. So, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you're kicking them reference numbers off, and I'm just like,
knows the stuff.
No, I know a little bit. Like I know like 1% maybe of like everything. There's so much to learn.
And do you specialize in Rolex, or do you do everything vintage?
So I do everything vintage. I specialize in Rolex personally. Like I just like Rolex more, like specifically like 70s to 2000s. Like that's my favorite eras, late 60s to 2000s. But I still deal with everything like Cartier, AP, Patek's, Omegas here and there. Like we do all the type of stuff and like some micro brands too. But I just love Rolex. Like they're just so like fun to play with and like look at, and the history, and I just like how they hold value too. Like it's a lot more liquid than certain companies. Like Omegas are great. Definitely. I love Omega, but like the liquidity on Omega compared to a Rolex, at least on certain models, is very different. So that's why I just really like Rolex as a whole.
Definitely. Now, and do you like Rolex just as a brand yourself? So like, let me rephrase this. if you were to pick a watch brand for yourself to wear on your wrist every day, are you generally a Rolex person, or do you go
Good
for other
question.
things?
It's honestly very tough to say. Like lately, I think it's because I'm still so fresh into it. Like I just love Rolex so much, or maybe I just have an addiction. It's pretty bad. But
We all do.
yeah, I'm just looking at it. It's so bad to look at because I just want more. But I would say it is Rolex at the end of the day. Like I do love Cartier, like the Santoses, the Tanks, like those are super popular and fun to wear. But at the end of the day, if I'm really gonna sit with something, it'd be a 36 millimeter any day, like a Date 8 or a Datejust. Like those are my go-tos. What about you?
I need
What would you choose?
Man, I don't know. I can go many different ways. I'm really well versed in like micro brands. I like really purchasing watches for like people that are new on the scene that are like trying to make something and kind of up and coming. That I feel like price for performance of what you get is just really cool. I've been a Farr fanboy for a long time. Something, me and Blake were just talking about this, but an in-game watch for me is a Panerai PAM 690. It's a radio mirror body, but it was a release from 2014, so fairly new watch.
Yeah,
but it looks like a watch from, there you go.
that's pretty nice.
Like an old diver style. Yeah, so it's pretty neat though.
I like it. I like the blue. It's very nice, actually.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, but something like that maybe.
What about you, Blake? What would you choose?
We actually, ironically, have all this ready. You're gonna laugh probably, but I'm a basic guy.
That's not bad. That's an interesting one, though. I did not expect that.
That's what I said.
Yeah.
What size is that?
What's that?
What size is that?
It's a 42.
Oh,
It's
yeah?
a big boy, though.
Yeah, it's pretty big. But it wears smaller, though. Like, it's not that big. Like, I tried on offshore recently. It's not that bad. But, like, I would never wear it. It's too big for my wrists. But it's a cool watch.
I can wear, like, I wear a lot of 44 Panerais. I have a 45 Panerai that I can wear. The watch that Justin wants is a 47. Like, Jesus.
You guys have big taste.
Usually I don't. Like, this is a 34 mil, and I love it. And I'm like, I don't know, man. The Panerai just big, but I like it.
Yeah, I feel you.
Like you want that Breitling emergency, don't you?
I cannot go for
I
can't. They're too big. Too big.
Well, mine's a 38, dude. So I'll have to show you that one. That's actually pretty solid.
The Nava timer? Yeah, I think it's sweet.
I kind of want, I know this is stupid, but I kind of want the Omega Mars timer.
Have you seen that? Planets, or that's something else?
No, it's the one that tells you the time on Mars. Like, that's super useful.
I need to see that. I forgot what it looks like.
I'll have to send you. So we don't have it loaded up in the slides, but no, I'll have to show it to you. It's a cool watch for sure.
Definitely.
And yeah. Sorry, I'm trying to get our layout back. And yeah, so it's a 45 millimeters, all titanium, and it tells the time on Mars. So,
like, I'm gonna ever need that, but why not? Another one for the collection.
I mean, yeah. Tell me,
where there's
like,
a will, there's a way.
I didn't hear.
I said, where there's a will, there's a way.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. No, I just want to feel like I'm out of this world, bro. Tell me, like, what was like one of the most memorable deals that you've done, like, and why?
Deals. Definitely a couple. I'll give you my first one, actually. My first one that came to my head just now. So I remember when I first started my first TikTok, like, week or two, some guy came in off a video I made, and like it was the quickest purchase I've ever seen in my entire life. Like, it was like 30 seconds. Like, he said, I like that watch, and he came in and he's like, I'm taking it. And I was like, I like TikTok. Like, after that, I was like, this is really cool. And it really felt like, how I told you it's not that easy to sell a watch. Like, I thought it was that easy in that moment. I was like, yeah, this is cool. And yeah, that was a pretty memorable one because of how interesting it was. Like, that doesn't really happen often, but there's definitely some crazier ones. Like, especially when I go traveling. When I go traveling, I send deals over. It's like, damn, like, I literally just sent something. It's 12 hours behind in time, and someone just said, okay, I'll take it. Like, just thinking about it is pretty crazy. And yeah, it's fun.
What watch was it?
It was a sapphire string dial oyster quartz in solid 18
Oh.
karat, and then a Havana 1803. If you know the Havana, it's like a dark, medium brown looking. It's pretty cool. And those are
I
pretty
need a
cool.
brown dial.
Yeah,
Watch.
those are fun. You know,
Dude, I have the Mark II that you just posted. Like I have that exact same
Oh, you have
watch.
that
I
one?
love that.
that's a sick
Yeah.
one. I like that one.
I got the bracelet on it too. I ended up just I sent it off. I got it totally overhauled, got it totally restored. And yeah, now it has a tritium dial with super luminova hands, but whatever,
Yeah, who cares?
you know.
As long as you wear it, as long as you enjoy it. If you really do care about it and enjoy it, why not? Like
I love it.
this one that I posted, it sold within a minute. Like I posted it and this guy's like, I'm taking it because it was tropical and it was really cool. And I said, okay.
Tropicals are hard.
Yeah, it was really
Tropicals are
cool.
hard.
So he's like, I'll take it. And I said, okay. Like it seems like he really enjoys that look. I would rather him enjoy it than I would because I don't really value it that much. It was a pretty cool piece.
I saw one that I went into my local like pawn shop and they had literally like a tropical dial, but it literally looked like a Hershey's bar, dude. It was so chocolate, and I was like, yo, it was it's a Mark II.
That's crazy.
And I know, and they were like, oh, we listed it on eBay already, and it's you can go bid on it, and it sold for like $1,800, on eBay, but it needed a lot of work. I was like, yo, I got it.
It low-key might be the same one that I had. Was it beat up?
Like, it was beat up.
Low-key, it might have been the one I had because mine was pretty beat up, and it probably sold around that price. So pretty cool.
I don't even think like I don't even think theirs worked. If I wasn't mistaken, like I think there was a hand, like a chrono hand, that fell off, and
maybe.
But anyways,
yeah, mine was pretty good.
Mine has mine's the first generation, like the first year of the Mark II. So there was like a small period where they had like some type of like finishing chemical that they put on the dial to protect the dial. But when it was exposed to UV light, it became a tropical dial, right?
I see.
So mine falls within that year period. So hopefully mine will become a tropical.
Definitely. We'll keep it in the sunlight. If you keep it in the sunlight, it'll definitely turn tropical quicker, I'm pretty sure.
I thought about sitting at my window for like a while, or just getting like, I was like joking with my wife. I was like, let's somebody get a damn like UV like light bulb and blast it.
If you do the sunlight, I think it'll be like an insane patina. Like it'll just like, it won't be even. It'll probably be like the way the sun goes on it, and it'll be like drastically different. If you just leave it.
Yeah.
There. I think it'll look cool.
Has there been any watches that have came into your possession that you regretted like selling? Anything like that?
Into my possession. I've definitely came by some crazy stuff before. Regret passing up on or selling?
Like something that came in that you fell in love with, and then you ended up, you just sold it, just because it was in inventory, and you're like, dude, I should have never sold that. Like I wanted to keep that.
Yeah, well, it's more of just like I have a bad addiction at this point, so everything that comes in, it's like, why did I sell that? Like I should have kept it. It's really bad. Like I love them. They're so fun to like just collect and have. But no, surprisingly, no. Like if I could have my first Speedmaster, I would love to. If I can, go back and take that, I would, just to have that first one. But there's always new things coming in and out. Always some interesting stuff. But things in my personal collection, I feel like I won't find them as often, but they're still findable. Like you can still get it, but I don't really miss anything that goes out, except like one. Like it was a red Vignette two-tone. It was really cool. Honestly, that was a cool one. I got that one in Hong Kong, and I sold that thing super quick. And I was like, I think I sold it too cheap. But what can you do?
I'm planning a trip to Japan to do some watch shopping at some point.
Yeah, when you gonna
go? I'm not sure. My buddy Cameron from Craft and Tailored, I'm trying to get him on the podcast. He's already confirmed it, so nice. I just spilled the beans on that one. But he's in Hong Kong right now, and he's always out there.
Yeah,
and, I'm waiting.
He's pretty cool.
I'm waiting for his guide first. So since I can't bring him with me, like I'm just gonna wait for his guide before I go. So,
Yeah.
but I think getting a Grand Seiko in Japan would probably be
It's a cool
something.
one. Is that the one with the power reserve on it? On the dial?
Yeah, I mean, so like a spring drive, but they have a couple spring drive watches where they have like a cut in spring drive power reserve, and then they have some that actually have like the indicators that tell you, hey, there's 24 hours, there's 48 hours or 72 hours left on the power reserve, and those are the ones that I want. They're actually surprisingly the cheaper ones. Like it's actually like their retail around 4,800 for the one that I want.
That's not bad.
No, not at all. Tell us about some of like the vintage trends that you have seen kind of coming and going. I mean,
vintage trends. So I would say from at least my niche of what we do is we do a lot with Datejust Cartier tanks, the must ones, and then the Cartier Santos. So I don't know. I'm not gonna say that we start trends. Maybe we do, but Danny has like over the years, I really noticed like when Danny posts things and then like consistently, I see other people starting to post it more. It's like it's very interesting to see how like people just consistently will start doing that because I noticed when other people weren't posting anything and he did, it's like a trend, and it would just catch up. And then I'm sure you know Johnson. Like Johnson, he posts something and then it literally just starts a trend. Like everyone wants that watch now. So what is it? You know that the ghost gray Santos? We had one for what? We had a couple of them for a couple months, not like actively selling. And then Johnson posts it and I got like 30 people texting me, hey, you still have it? And I'm like, yeah, I do. And like they're asking for it. And it's just like, it's crazy how these trends, because the Santos is popular, but then that model specifically, or that one, or this model, it's crazy to see how like certain people could do something like, and it changes the market. Like people like wanting something. It's really crazy.
Yeah, the whole vintage scene is super new to me. And that's kind of why I wanted to also have you on. Because I have like zero insight into the vintage world. Like I have a vintage Omega, I have a vintage Zenith. I'll send you some pictures later.
Yeah.
And yeah, we've got our micro brand specialist here, Mr. Summers. But yeah, it's just something that's so foreign to me. And a lot of people actually, I mean, from the customers that I know, they prefer to buy like new, like current technology, it's not like the watchmaking technology's evolved that much, but of course with the use of things like silicon and inside the movements and the parachrome and I mean, like people just prefer that. But I personally love vintage.
It's more fun. It's just like you walk into a room, especially with the micro brand, like Justin, I guarantee you never see another person at the end of your watches. And it's such a good feeling. Like when you walk in a room with the blue Sky Dweller and you see 3 other guys as Sky Dwellers, it doesn't feel as special anymore. It's like, okay, we all had 20 grand to spend on a watch. Like, but when you walk in a room with like a special watch, you're like, I am the only person in this radius that has this. It just makes it more special. Like through dating, for example, I think I might be possibly the only person in the country that I know of that has this watch. Like Mike Naveau posted a picture of the Datejust recently, and I told him about mine, and then I saw him post it. And then other than that, I haven't seen one. So it's just knowing that you have this type of stuff is so fun. It's just the fun part about vintage.
Somebody needs to make a Carfax for watches.
Yeah.
Like that'd be so badass. Can you imagine that? Like, okay, this watch, like, depending on the owner, right, and how much you love it, like you could update the Carfax as much as you wanted. Like here's a picture of this watch in Thailand, or here's a picture of this. You know what I mean? Like, like here it was serviced at XYZ dealer, or it was it changed hands from this person to that person, was listed on eBay at like this date and sold at this price.
That'd actually be pretty cool. It would just be so complicated to keep up with. And
of course,
also the serial numbers. That's actually really interesting. It's a good idea, but it'd just be very complicated. And also just to marketing stolen and stuff like that, that'd be a good database, honestly.
I know that there's people out there that are doing like stolen databases right now, like Paul Thorpe. Like he's working on a project with like a watch database, like a stolen watch database. but yeah, that's an idea for somebody who's way more, way more nerdy than me and has way
Yeah,
more time than me. But it
definitely.
would be badass.
It'd be pretty interesting.
Is there any watches that have like eluded you? Like maybe something that you've been looking for that you've never been able to acquire?
Yes. Well, even if I was able to acquire it, I don't know if I can justify spending the money on it right now, but I'll show you a picture of it. I look at this thing pretty often. Like, I love this thing.
Do it.
I love it. Here. The only person I've seen that has it is Amsterdam Vintage Watches. I'm sure you guys know who that is. Is the 18168.
Ooh.
Wow.
Yeah, the quality sucks right here, but it's really beautiful. Factory pave dial, blue, like it's insane. Like every single picture of this thing is crazy. I wish you guys.
What are the stones around the bezel?
Those are sapphires, blue sapphires, and then
Okay.
the inside has red rubies and blue sapphire plus white diamonds. And then the bracelet, which is the Jubilee, also has factory down the middle. So it's like insane. Probably around 300, probably. But like you can't find them.
300,000 or 300 total?
No, 300 grand.
Okay.
Give or take.
I was like, I've never even seen that watch like ever in my life. It's a brand new one for me.
Yeah. It's a 18168, if I'm not mistaken.
18168. Let's write it down.
168, yeah, exactly. Mid-80s, give or take, 1985, 6, 7.
Honeycomb pave.
Great piece.
As well.
Yeah.
Damn. And then so what about one that's a little bit more possible?
I'm a big fan of stone dials. I love all the stone dials. All the cool, also Cartiers, like the Cartier Crash. That's a really cool one, but that's kind of crazy.
I love that watch.
Yeah, like I saw one at the show actually in Vegas, burgundy on burgundy, beautiful piece, around 250 or 300, and it was super nice, like really flawless condition. But more obtainable will probably be a stone dial. Those you can get in like, depending on condition and dial variation, 40 to 100 grand, give or take. But there are definitely some nice ones. Like today we sourced an Onyx one for a friend. It was pretty cool.
Onyx is a cool material, especially if you see it on a watch style, because it doesn't look like anything else.
Yeah, it's very interesting. It's nice because the color is just so like, it's just very strong. Like when you see, let's say lapis, like it's always a little different, but like Onyx is just super nice, like nice glossy.
Yeah. What advice would you give to somebody who's looking to get started collecting vintage?
Getting started to collect vintage, it depends on their budget and what they're looking for. But if you're looking for investment wise, I would say you have to do due diligence and really understand the brand like that you're looking at. Like I'll just use Rolex for example. Like I would sit there and search eBay for like what's listed, how often are things selling, what was the last sold price, all these different little details that you need to know, because you can't just be like, okay, I want to buy things, and then like when it comes to selling, like as you probably will sell something, you're just going to take a huge loss, or you're just going to be like, oh, I don't even know what to do, like what to look for. So really do your due diligence when it comes to like comps and understand the market, especially with micro brands. Like those are super complicated. You have to know your stuff. And yeah.
I don't know anybody. Like I've been to all the micro brand watch shows. Like I was at one in Chicago recently, and then I was at one in San Francisco. And I don't think anybody comes to the micro brand shows like looking at like potential value. Like they're like, okay, the reason why the micro brand industry exists is because brands like Rolex and Cartier wouldn't give people what they wanted.
That makes sense.
And we've talked about this a lot, especially like just I think on our first podcast we talked about that. But they're looking at what they're getting in terms of like the value. Like, okay, they're getting this movement, they're getting this steel, like they're getting this finishing, this attention to detail, and I'm only paying this for it.
Yeah, you're 100% correct.
And so that mentality has never came in. I mean, I don't know, correct me if I'm wrong, Justin, like have you considered anything like that? Like I'm not a huge micro brand guy. Like I'm 100% honest. So
yeah, I'd say, I mean, not really, I guess.
You're just like, dude, fuck it, I love it, I'm just gonna buy it.
Yeah, pretty much.
I went to a watch show recently. It was actually an antique, not a vintage show, an antique show in PA. It was in close by to Amish town. So it was definitely an interesting show. And like the whole show was like 70, 75-year-old plus. And me and like four guys, like like 18 to 20, 25. And we're just there. We're like here buying stuff, just like buying random things, micro brands. And I'm like, wow, like, and it's huge. It's a big show. And like seeing how people do business there, like they see like this little tiny watch, they're like, oh, that's nice. How much? Like I picked one up that I really liked, and it's not like about the watch itself. It's more just like how interesting these things are. Like you can't really see it here.
It's sick.
Yeah.
What type of watch is that? What is that?
It's a Barrel cocktail watch. So if you look at it in the light, it's so bad right now. This center piece, it just starts turning around in circles. So it's pretty cool.
I can see like it's like a kaleidoscope or something.
Yeah, exactly. It's super cool. I love it.
And so it's got an exhibition case bag.
What was that?
Exhibition case bag too.
Yeah, check this out. Really cool.
Ooh, manual winding. That's the way to do it.
I think I paid like $200 for this thing, but like I loved it. And then I did research on it, and I realized that these things are like maybe like $80 to $100, and they used to be sold on cruises apparently back in the day. Like you would go on a cruise, and like they used to sell these on the board, and now I have one. So pretty cool.
I mean, you paid a premium for the story.
Yeah, definitely. Unless I just got BS'd, but I like it regardless. It looked cool. Like I'm just staring at it the entire trip. I was like, good pickup.
At that price, I mean, $200. I mean, like you can't really go wrong.
Of course, yeah.
Especially with something like, you know, it's okay to pay more, especially if you're not looking at it from the business side.
100%.
Right? So,
because there's a lot outside to like buy watches, like investment wise, as I was saying before, and like if you really like something, like some people like they'll come to the booth and they'll be like, I will pay extra if it's nice because I like it, or I'll pay less because I just want a good deal. Like there's certain people that are different and they know what they're doing. Like I would also pay a lot more for a nice patina sub that's all original, unpolished, than pay cheap for like a BS one, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, Justin, you got to get some more vintage watches, man.
Just gonna get some bronze stuff and patina it out, man.
Yeah, definitely.
Do you get the weird smelling? Does bronze smell weird on your skin?
Bronze? I don't wear bronze at all. Not that I know.
Oh, well. Yeah, bronze always does. It always does weird stuff with me, man. Like whenever my skin touches it, it like patinas, and then it just smells weird. I don't know.
Really?
I love bronze. Yeah, I love bronze, but I'm like, man, I can't buy a bronze watch.
So interesting. I never heard that.
Mm-hmm.
I have an all bronze watch, and they'll do the case back in steel because bronze can change the color of your skin from wearing it
to blue.
Really? To blue?
Yeah.
What's the watch?
My FAR actually has a bronze crown on it, and I'll look at my wrist right here, and I'll have a little blue dot from where it'll rub over time. Yeah,
because it gets so oxidized.
Is this even with the new Tudors? Like, you know, the new bronze Tudor?
Dude, the new bronze Tudor is so bad. Like it would be patina, like patinaing in the showcase. And so like when people would
crazy.
But when I'd show it to somebody, I'd be like, look at this here.
Go here, let me touch it.
It is a cool looking watch. I'll give you that.
It is.
Yeah,
it is. And I don't know if you know, but you actually can like reset the patina. Like, did you know that?
What, by wiping it down?
No, so you could take like salt and I think it's vinegar, and then literally put on a toothbrush and just, and then
Is this only for bronze?
For bronze, yeah.
It's so interesting. Salt and vinegar.
I think it's salt and vinegar. Like, don't entirely quote me on it. Like, don't go salt and vinegar all your watches, but
yeah, you can do a quick Google and find out. But if you ever find a vintage piece that has like a little ugly of patina, then you can definitely kind of like reshape it back up. It's pretty.
I'm gonna do it. One time I see like a bronze watch, I'm like, Blake told me I have to try it, and then like if it gets ruined, I'm like, damn.
Just don't send me the bill. Just don't send me the bill.
I was thinking about sending it to you. I was like, I'll take that out, you know. Why not?
Okay. You can also do the exact opposite. So you can actually patina it quicker by you can hard boil eggs and put the watch in a bag and then like literally seal the bag off, and then you smash the eggs, and then the sulfur from the eggs will oxidize the watch. And it turns it to like a wicked green, like green specks. And
Where have you done this?
I know this because I have a bronze watch.
You did this before?
No. I haven't been ballsy enough to
should.
do it.
You should actually do that. That would be so cool. Like, actually do that.
I'll pull up a picture real quick, actually.
It'll never stop going. Like, the smell will never go away. Walking out with eggs on your wrist.
Yeah, pretty much. This
Make a
one
video
is
when you do it.
this one. Okay, so here's one. All right. So
Let's see.
I'm gonna do this. Yo, I think I lost you guys. Where are yours? Okay, cool. There we are. So let me share the screen. I feel bad for anybody that's listening right now. Like, you guys are missing out.
We segued into eggs.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, check this. Boom.
Whoa.
So yeah, this is like an early patina.
It's crazy.
And then this is like a late patina right here.
Damn.
But yo, as a New Yorker, bro, you have to know that the Statue of Liberty is bronze. You know that, right?
I do. Oh,
all right, there you go. That's why it's fucking green.
That is true.
So just don't crack any eggs around it.
I'm gonna just go to the statue and start tossing eggs.
Or you could just get your toothbrush and your salt and vinegar and just give it a little scrape and see if you can actually see the OG bronze.
You can egg the Statue of Liberty, and whenever they arrest you, you can say, "No, you were just trying to prove a claim to just further the patina."
Yeah, and then they'll probably arrest me and be like, "You're an idiot. You should have knew that." Come on.
And then you'll become even more popular.
Definitely.
There you go.
That might be a good move.
There's the clout beast.
Yeah,
outside of work, like, how have you noticed that your profession and passion, like how has it influenced like other parts of your life? Like, does it do that for you? Like
you're saying, selling watches, does it like benefit my life?
I wouldn't say necessarily that, because obviously like you're alive, so it benefits you some type of way. But have you noticed like your profession influencing other aspects of your personal life? Like maybe the way you dress. I mean, have you started getting like maybe like your significant other into it, or you know what I mean? Like, has it influenced and started to trickle over into the personal sides of your life?
Yeah, so that actually is a great question. It definitely does. Like, sometimes when I'm feeling like dressing up, like let's say I'll wear a suit, and you can just go for like the regular old gold or whatever watch you want to wear, but I'll be like, I'm wearing a Cartier tank. Like, I need to wear that dress watch. You know what I mean? Like, certain times I'll be like, this is my profession and I enjoy it. And I'm so like caught up in like the Rolex and all the hype, but I forget that like I love to wear all these cool little things that no one knows about. Like, let's say a Trinity dial Cartier. Like, you don't see stuff like this, so it's really fun to wear stuff like that. And other than that, no significant other. I bought my mom a Moons watch. She enjoys that one. So
what color?
The light blue one. Was that Uranus?
Yeah, I have that one.
Yeah, I have
nice
that one also, brand new. I just haven't touched it.
Yeah. Did you see the new dark blue with the gold second hand on it?
That's the Neptune Moonshine, right?
Yeah, I think so.
I got a Neptune, brand new. I have it somewhere sitting around, and like a different one. What's the other Moonshine? I forgot.
Yeah, it was the moon watch with the gold, and then they had one with like a little, like, it looked like it was like a little strawberry or some shit.
Strawberry hand, exactly. They're making a Neptune Moonshine, which is going to be crazy. I think it's coming out this week.
Well, that's the one that I saw. My friend told me to go to the watch store, and I'm like, dude, no, I'm not doing that.
Well, it's definitely gonna resell. It just, if you're willing to do it, I'd probably wear it though. It's pretty cool.
I don't know. I don't get into that much. Like I don't know. It's weird to me, and this is as coming from an AD, like from my AD perspective. Like, I have very little, if not zero, interest in making money on watches. Because I'm scared that it will change my love for watches.
That is very true. when I first started, I was like, everything was so cool to me. And then as you get into it, it's like you see the same stuff every day and you learn. It's just numbers. Like the same way how people sit down, they know like their stocks and cryptos or whatever it is. Like this is my stocks and cryptos. So I see it, it's like this is this price, no matter what. All day of the week, I'll buy it at this price and I'll sell it at this price minimum. So you just get like numb to it. But why I like vintage is you can do the same thing, but you still find crazy things that are like, whoa, like that threw me off. Like today, this guy, I had this guy, his name's Ari. He worked for me for the summer. Great kid, did it really good. His grandfather has a collection of paddocks, like a bunch of cool paddocks. And he came in today actually trying to sell them, like new old stock, fresh with original papers, it's original everything. And I was like, I'm looking at the set. I'm like, this is crazy. And he wants crazy money. And I told him definitely not. But it's just crazy to see stuff like this because like you get like the everyday just and like the wow, like that's insane. Like you don't see stuff like this. So it definitely is fun to like see stuff like this in the industry.
Yeah, I'm gonna plan a trip and I'm gonna sleep on your couch and I'm gonna do the watch thing with you for a little bit because I definitely want to see that side.
Come by. It's definitely an interesting industry to be in.
And yeah, we're coming up just to over an hour. And I want to be very respectful of your time because we could probably talk for another 3 hours on watches.
I really could.
And Justin, should we ask him? Should we?
Let's hear it.
Do you know what I'm talking about? Justin's like, dude, what the fuck? I don't even know.
I think so. As soon as you ask it, I'll know.
Dude, you have to ask it. It's your question.
Let's hear it. Justin.
Oh, shit.
What did you ask me on the first inauguration podcast?
Oh, man.
Final question.
If you died and you could be buried with one watch.
Oof.
But
what would
not super dark like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, not like, oh, like this is like terrible, like the one watch that's like in game and like it went to the grave with you. What would it be?
That's a great question. That's tough. Well,
I found myself in the same shoes.
Before I answer that question, what are we talking about? Just like out of enjoying that watch, or just like dying with it because that was like that watch? Like, what do you mean?
It can be either. It can be the only one in the world and you wanted to be selfish and keep it to yourself, or you just absolutely loved it and you just wanted to have it.
Definitely a Moon's watch. No, I'm joking. It would definitely
biodegradable. I think they are. I think they're made from like castor oil, so they are technically biodegradable.
There's something. They're so light, but I would probably leave my date, the one I talk about, to my kids. Like I would definitely, but I'd probably take the Ghost Style 1603 just because that's my first personal Datejust and my first personal Rolex that I kept. And definitely something special to me. And I wear it everywhere, like every traveling, everything. So that would probably be the one, only because of how special it is to me. And I think I'll wear it forever.
That's a good one. I like that too, because I like that question as well, because it gets people to open up about their personal, yearnings and stuff for their own watches. Yeah. So that's a good answer, man.
I wore that to like every single trip I've taken this year and last year, and every event, to like birthdays and weddings and all these big things. And then now I just like kind of transfer all that love to the date as well, just sharing it. But the Datejust is definitely the one.
Maybe to make it less dark in the future, we could just rephrase it as like, what watch, if you were to get married, what watch would you get married in? So it doesn't sound as dark.
I like the dark.
That's why we love asking it, though.
I like the dark one, though. It honestly is more intriguing.
Okay. Well, I guess if they dig you up in 60 years or whatever, after your time on this earth,
who knows?
You'll have a sick Ghost dial,
You'll have that white Zenith on, Blake.
Uh-oh.
I would tell my kids, like, just let me wear it for at least 10 years, like after I'm dead, and then you can dig me up and take it off.
That's crazy. Imagine though, like that's pretty crazy. Like wearing it while you're dead and then just someone takes it off you.
Yeah.
Grave robbers, man. It happens.
Messed up. It's messed up.
I'll just get cremated and my vase will just have the watch around the neck of the vase.
That's actually
what you could do is you could start making little like glass like spheres like for your tombstones, and then put your collection on on the tombstone on the top of it, and then surround them by concrete. You know what I mean? And just have just the dial poking out there.
Yeah. Do that with cars too, imagine. That'd be pretty crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, let's we don't want to keep this one rolling any longer. Like I said, we could talk forever. Just want to be respectful of everybody's time here. For all the listeners, of course, we promise that they won't become 2-hour podcasts every time. No, because the first one was 2 hours, like almost 2 hours. The one I did with Periscope, which I mean, I feel super lucky that I was able to get him on. Like that's so epic to me. And that was 2 hours. And so we're keeping you at a humble 1 hour and 10 minutes.
Oh, you're good. If I came earlier, it would have been better. So I got caught up, filming and stuff. When that film is done, you guys will definitely check it out. I'll send it to you guys. It's
definitely
gonna be a really cool project.
Yeah. Well, until next time, guys, we're gonna say goodbye.
Yeah, everybody. Thank you so much, guys. It's nice meeting you, Justin. Have a good one.
You as well, David. Take care, everybody.
Peace.